Welcome to the Carpool Lane episode, The Breakups That Make Us. This is part 2 of 3. This one is all about breaking up with family members. Here's our intake on some of that, and hope you guys enjoy. See you guys later.
Okay.
How about family?
Ooh.
Have you ever broken up with a family member? Go ahead.
We're doing family?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Have you ever just officially called it quits with a family member? And I'm gonna say, if any family members are listening, if you're listening, it probably isn't you. Yeah. There's only one, and they are aware of that. We had this conversation, not face to face, but on phone. It was through text message. It was full on call. I let them know my feelings about what they did, told them how wrong it was.
Oh my God, who was it? Spill the tea.
Turn the mic off.
Can't spill the tea. But obviously, we tried to. How do you say this? Break bread a year later. Still try to see if anything was still there.
Extend an olive branch.
Olive branch. There you go. Olive branch. I'm sorry. There you go.
And you're wearing an olive sweater. Very nice.
Wow. Olive branch.
I'm just on it with that. I thought of that one right now too.
And for some reason, they still didn't feel like they were sorry for what they did. I was sorry maybe the way I came off because I came off a little more aggressive. This is unusual for me, and so I did apologize for that. But it's still they weren't apologizing for what they did. And at this moment, it's still we haven't talked. It's been like that, so it's like okay, let's keep it that way. For a while, and then maybe. For past cross again, we'll see. I am not saying anything's cut off for sure, but for right now, it's I don't talk to them. And at least they know about it. It's not something where I post it on the internet. Hey, this wrong right now. And I didn't make a public thing. Besides now, But I didn't say who it was or anything like that. It's their business between me and them, and that's it. And so I respect them. And so hopefully, maybe down the road, maybe we can work it out.
Tell you.
Because I never want to have any grudge to any family member. Yeah, there's some family members.
If you have something to say, Alex.
I might have a second person compared to this. I might have number 2 right now.
He's all, I brought you here to let you know.
Actually, we're breaking up as friends.
No, but yeah, the opportunity ever comes up and we do have another talk face to face, and it's okay, that's great. But we'll see. Right now, yeah. At least I know we've had that talk.
Yeah.
It's not something that's one of the things I maybe I was gonna say, oh, I'm young, I'm 35, fuck that shit. But I have no regrets in life, I always go out, I gave it a shot. That's the best way to say it.
We all hold the same sense.
Well, not
No, you explain it.
family per se. How do I?
How do I know?
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm a very, very, very forgiving person. One thing about me is I make a lot of mistakes. So.
Everyone.
Well, yeah, but my thing is, it might be me on the other end one day, and I'd want you to forgive me, so I have to be a forgiving person, right? And when you have, I'm gonna just piggyback off that. When you have a death of a parent, that's a pain not a lot of people can understand. You can say, oh, well, I lost this person or I lost that person. It's not the same. I don't care what anyone says. It hurts, yes, but your parent is your first friend, your guardian. They
part of your life.
Teach you everything.
This person molded everything.
They everything about you, your essence is a part of them. And when you lose that, it's the biggest hit. Though the way I explain it is when you lose a parent, it's like a safety net, right? You know how if your world were to come crashing down, you can say, I'm gonna go stay with my parents for a couple months.
Yeah.
That feeling is a financial stability. There's an emotional safety net that, oh, I'm hurting. I'm gonna talk to my mom. I lost my job and I this and I that. Even if, oh, well, that's how life goes. Just even that is still coming from that person is something that no one else can ever tell you that'll give you that much comfort, right? And so I don't have any family members. You get it, yeah. It's like, yeah. And I don't have any family members that I've cut off. I've had waves of I don't particularly care for these people or whatever because especially like when I came out, I just didn't want to be rejected, so I kind of
You
just
weren't born that way?
Honestly, that's a whole other thing, but for me, the whole gay thing isn't like, I didn't feel like, oh, I've been gay since birth. It's more of like when I was going through, my mom explained puberty to me. She's like, you're going to get hair, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, and you're going to start noticing girls. It's like, I got everything. And I'm like, I'm not noticing girls. Like, well, girls.
Where the girls
Oh, well, like, I want to look like him. Like, a little too much, you know? So that's where it changed for me. But anyways, the whole, like, so I kind of, like, pushed myself out to kind of avoid any rejection, because it's like, it's something you're going to just have to deal with. So, but anyways, when I had a best friend, we met when I was 18, and he was just so cool, just the coolest guy. We'd go places, everywhere we went, people were like, all eyes on us, like drinks, and I don't know, just good time. That whole era of my life was just fun and just so good. And then like, my mom started getting really sick a year before she died, and he just like cut me off. He had cut me off twice before, but he never really mentioned why, right? We just kind of stopped talking, and then we started talking. And then we stopped talking, and we started talking, but it was like short-lived. But this time he did it again. And I remember Googling like, why would someone cut you off? And it's like, it's a way to control a relationship. If someone constantly cuts you off, it's because they want to control the dynamic of the relationship.
I get it.
I want you kissing my ass, so I'm going to cut you off without explanation. We're never going to talk about why. So, anyways. So he did it the third time, and I'm always like, I give people 3 chances, and it's too many. So I was like, this sucks, because I need a friend. And he had gone through this period of time, like all his friends, something about being in your late 20s when you're gay, like all your friends are getting married, they're having kids. And it's like you're starting to see them enter a new chapter of life, and you're like either going to be in the club scene and the drug scene, or you're going to start being like that, you know, traveling or whatever. Like it's like you got to pick a path, and you start seeing all your friends pick that same path, and it's like, okay, what am I doing? He felt, and I get it because I went through it later, but he felt super suicidal. And I remember nobody heard from him. I went and pounded on his door. I would not leave. I ended up breaking into his room, and long story short, I was there, and I wouldn't leave until I saw him smile, and he did not smile for like 3 days. He was really upset, and you know, after doing all that, he cuts me off a year before my mom gets sick, and then like we made up or we talked, and I was just like, it's never gonna be the same. But okay, and then like my mom dying and stuff, and like he didn't know how to reach out. And you know, I always try to look at the other side. Like, it's hard, you know, how do I reach out? What do I say? What can I do? You know, I understand that's hard, but you don't have to do anything. If you can just be there, and even though you know I'm going through this huge thing, you being here and treating me like normal as best you can is going to be everything. And you can't do that because you're scared I might cry or whatever, you don't know how. You're trash. And yeah, I can forgive you, but it'll never be the same. I'll never trust you. I'll never put any heart into you. It's just like you were saying with that, with your family, you're probably like, yeah, you know, we can be cordial and, you know, we can get along, but I will never, ever confide in you, trust you, or ever count on you for shit, ever. And it's just, it'd be like that.
Right.
But yeah, but I remember when we stopped talking, it was like a hard breakup. It was like, I went through it because I was like mourning the relationship, because I thought we were best friends.
So he didn't reach out during your whole mom thing?
I mean,
You shouldn't have to.
no. And then I had a good friend, same thing. It's like, he was telling me, yeah, you know, they come, he's like, you don't hear from them, you're going through this, and you're struggling with the funeral, and you're struggling with this, and you're just trying to figure out how do I live without this person who's guided me through every chapter of my life to this point? Like, what do I do? How am I going to live? What am I going to do? And you don't even have your friends that are there, or family in your case. Like, it's like, and then I remember he was telling me that, he's like, yeah, it's just like, save it. Like, just save it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
something.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Sorry. I feel like I'm.
No.
Thank you.
It's new to everyone else. Though. I know everything.
I know. Dom?
Are you drunk right
Or
now?
have you been the one to be cut out?
He cut himself out.
He's about to
I know. We wanted to cut out Dominic so
Were
much.
you up late
but
last
it's
night?
Yeah. Dom, any family members you cut off?
Not really.
Not really? Okay.
Okay.
What about what's her name that Alex said he cut off?
Who?
What was her name?
I think Dominic's in the same boat as me.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So
Is it a him or a her?
it's a mutual agreement. No, it's
A swing and a miss.
Are you pleading the fifth?
pleading the fifth. Vicky?
Pleading to sleep.
Okay. Pass. Saul, Jazzy?
She cut Leslie off.
There was a time.
I can't tell all your stories.
I'm not good at telling stories.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Well,
Well,
I'm talking about
sorry, before we go.
This
Leslie,
one
I'm sorry.
time
Leslie or Fernando? Any?
I'm good.
Okay.
Bless you.
Plead the fifth.
Family work or something?
Jazzy, Saul?
You can talk.
well, I guess I cut off my second oldest brother, but not really. It's kind of like you. I did leave like the door is still open if he ever does like decide to come back. You know.
Is it your
like,
brother?
Yeah, second oldest brother. I guess to go back, like it started when him did like.
When he got with his wife.
Yeah, basically when he got his
But-
wife, but it was even before that too, like his first baby mama, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
You know, like he
Girl
always,
influence?
so like
He took advantage of his parents.
he basically would take advantage of my parents a lot, would like live rent free, move in his girlfriend, and everything, right? He wouldn't pay rent, he wouldn't like basically help them in any way. When we lost our house, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna help you guys. I'm gonna just move out, get my own place with my baby mom at the time." And they ended up breaking up before they lost the house. And then so he moved with us to the new place, and he still wasn't paying rent. And then once he got like with his new, his current wife basically, the whole thing basically started again. Where like my mom is kind of like old school in a way.
No, she's toxic.
Yeah,
Mom's
she is.
toxic.
She is pretty toxic. You know, like where she does her little
Trauma.
comments like here and there that
Give
go
me
towards
one
like our spouses basically.
Middle one.
Question: is she Mexican?
Yeah.
Is she like old school Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Hey,
so you
I'll
know,
take
right?
this.
So you know, yeah. So like, so like,
Are you gonna get ready to go out? I am ready. Okay, keep going.
so yeah. So like little things like that, you know, like oh, subiste de peso, or like oh, te estás mirando like
Yeah,
gordita,
yeah,
gordita.
don't fucking say
Or
that
like,
shit
or
too.
something, you know, like
Yeah.
little things here and there that she thinks like are harmless,
Okay.
or actually like little things like that's like
Hurtful.
hurtful. And then so she would do that a lot to his current wife when she would come over, and then
While
she was
pregnant.
and she was pregnant, right? And then basically put like her 2 cents into like the relationship kind of too. And then he was kind of always that like taking advantage of them. He was like, I don't know, I don't think he has like anger issues probably or something, because he would like blow up in her face all the time. And, like basically like
Oh wow. Okay.
no yeah. So my brother, my mom basically.
Oh, your brother.
Yeah,
oh,
my brother.
I thought
So,
you were.
yeah, so and then basically like that's basically like it was always like
Backstory.
that's like the backstory.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys were there at the graduation, right? And so it all that
Were
basically
you
like
still there when it happened, or did you?
I had to protect a baby.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's
swooped
right.
a baby.
I
So-
know.
I remember. Wait, your baby? Tell me why.
It's his baby.
I remember this during the shower, like randomly, like a few times ago. I'm like, I see the baby went down. I was meant to be mama.
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like this like tension basically between my family, you know. And I was always the one that I was
In the
very
middle.
very forgiving too, you know. Like and I'm always like
The person in the middle.
yeah, the person in the middle trying to glue everything, keep it all together, you know.
So even though you're not the eldest,
He's the
Yeah,
youngest.
I'm the youngest.
You held that.
Yeah,
that
and then because
responsibility.
I've always done that thing where like you know we talked about like that we look at relationships we're like, well, we don't want to be like that, and then so we kind of see how like my brothers are, how my parents are, like everything, like all their life choices, every mistake they made, or people around us like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to be like that, you know. So I changed my route basically, you know, and then so basically
Basically, his other brother, the one that's a year older than him, attacked that brother that he's talking about.
because of like. So my brother would always go off on my mom. And then that day, he was going off on her because she was trying to go over there.
Forcing it.
Yeah, and like trying to say like, oh, that she missed him and just wanting to have a nice relationship with him.
But
you know
she
what I'm
wouldn't
saying?
leave him alone. Like there was no boundaries. Like emotionally, like I can't talk to you, and he tried like telling her, like I can't talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. But she wasn't respecting his boundaries as she never respected him, you know, and that's what happened. He blew up. He couldn't control his emotions because it's his mother, you know.
Yeah, and so he started basically yelling at her right there in front of everybody, like get out of my face, like you know, like. And then my other brother, he's the type to not even fight either.
He does not fight. He's nice.
He's nice. He like he keeps to himself, you know. And then that day, I don't know, he just like. He went so fast out of nowhere, like in like less than a second.
I mean, I don't know if you want to get into it. I mean, it's a party.
It was our party.
Yeah, you were
Okay,
there.
I think.
Yeah.
So.
What party?
It was our graduation party.
Oh, I was gonna say like our engagement or something.
Oh no.
Oh god. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, he just went literally like less than a second, went and then just started punching him in the face. Everything broke the
A little
table
upset I
down.
missed it, but I left early.
You never told me about that.
Oh.
She saved the baby. She saved her niece.
You say so. I mean, my perspective on it is like, all I hear is something say, he says something about my mother, and then I just see fighting.
Yeah, he's like, why you
people
talking shit about
tussling,
my mom?
and then she grabbed me because she thought she yanked me. She was like, why are you going in there? I was like, I'm not. There was literally a little girl right there, and I grabbed her and I pulled her to the side, and I put my back to their brothers fighting, I guess, and I was like, I didn't know it was your brothers at the time, and so I was like, yeah, but she's like, oh shit, and so like we pulled her to the side. And then after we give her to, I don't know, mother or something, but yeah, I was like, oh shit, I remember that. Yeah, your mom was
So since you have paused that, relationship indefinitely, has your mother also done that, or?
No, she hasn't either. She's like still, like, I guess sometimes he calls her on accident. I don't know, or maybe
No,
on purpose.
He probably asks her for stuff.
Yeah. No, like.
There's a big chunk missing. So his brother, the one that got punched, tried suing his little brother, and just wanted money. They just wanted money to buy a house.
So his wife now, she.
I never thought of
Like
it.
they painted this picture of his brother that he was a terrible guy, and
That he's a drunk.
and that
He's
they
alcoholic.
completely
He
screwed him
fights,
up
like-
and like painted this picture of something that he's not. You know, like
There was even like a
the opposite of what he was. And they
restraining
took
order
him,
on
yeah.
him.
Oh my god.
Like, and then
Yeah,
basically
bitches does that. It's,
Yeah,
oh,
and so-
I know, bitch. I'm a win.
You guys,
I'm gonna
you
win.
guys, like, their relationship after then has never been the same.
No, and then
they
so
don't
like,
talk to them.
yeah, so then that was always I'm telling like the glue, like trying to keep everyone together, you know. But then at that point, I was just like, wow, like you just really like I thought it was just my mom, but and then I'm like, oh, maybe it's just him, like he's just like doesn't care, like or doesn't like. Cause to do that to your own brother, trying to ruin his life.
Yeah.
Cause he was trying to get a job at the time too, and restraining order kind of looks bad too, And then he was like, oh, like I'm like trying to get this job, and then like I don't know, and then he basically sued him too for a time that he missed from work.
He claimed he lied about the whole
Yeah.
situation. He said that the table was glass and it shattered all over him. You
It
were
was
there.
plastic.
He lied so hard to get his brother into like more shit.
And like this all went to court. I had to go testify for my brother. And, like just this whole like big old mess.
It
And
was
then
a mess.
after that, I was just like, yeah. And I'm like, after that, I was like, I got tired of it. Tired of being in the middle.
Yeah.
So I was just like,
Yeah, no.
You and your little brother took
Julian!
like
Yeah.
it was just too much.
and like well, like even
Julian!
You guys can take so much.
Yeah.
He's hugging everybody.
Yeah, he is.
No,
yeah,
so I'm glad you guys. I mean, I never brought it up to you guys, it's like stuff like that. But I'm glad you guys brought this up because, like, I mean, that was only our perspective, was like what we saw,
Yeah.
what we did.
No, and then
yeah.
even after all that fight, like I still try to like be like, oh, like brothers fight, it's okay.
Yeah,
like,
you still try to do it.
Yeah, and then I still try to. I will still go like visit him or like message him like, hey, you okay? Like, how you feeling? Because I know like obviously he was hurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then But then all that started happening. Like he started like suing him and like trying to demand money. And I'm like, wow, like
Exactly.
it's not like you've never fought before. They've actually
And
fought
it's like
before too.
all those
yeah.
years of being a brother, like loving your family, loving your brother, and like to do that to him, like
Yeah.
and just like you
And,
don't
like,
care, you just want the
I
money.
mean, I want to say I get it, but like
But like as an
brothers
older
fight, but like,
brother,
but first of all,
But to do
to fight
that-
another brother in your special occasion, both yours, and it's just like, yeah, and then to add the suing stuff on top of that.
But like even like as an older brother, you would think that he would look out for your little brother, you know, or like
Exactly.
you know, or something, like, or at least like you're like, oh, I can't do that to him, you know. And then the thing is too is that it was his wife mostly that was like telling him to do all those things. 'Cause she's like
I
in the
don't
legal
want to be
field.
nosy, but I
Yes.
was about to.
yes.
She's a paralegal. She's
It's
basically a
because
paralegal.
everyone,
You know?
She pushed, so she pressed it.
Yeah,
She
she was like,
pressed it, for
oh,
sure.
we can
People
get
have
these
known what to
programs.
do.
We can get these programs. If you have a restraining order, they'll help us to get a house.
That is very
Basically.
selfish.
Yeah, and then she was like, oh, with that money, we can have enough for a down payment.
I don't even think they talk to their own family anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and then now they don't even talk to their own family because he still talks to my cousins. Because one of my cousins cuts his hair, so and that's one of my mom's uncles. Yeah,
Your mom's brother.
yeah, my mom's brother, and so it's his son. So he tells his dad everything that they talk, and then his dad, basically my mom's brother, tells my mom what's going on too, you know. And so basically they cut ties with her family as well, and so it's just like. It was, yeah, and now that I look at it, like, oh, okay, so yeah, it was that.
So
Yeah.
you can totally plead the fifth, but what's going on with the wedding? Like,
Oh,
outside
they're
of
not
this,
coming.
they're not gonna be neither.
They're not invited.
Okay.
I'm not, so like that goes on to
I mean, we got your
too.
back. I mean, we'll
That's
form
the
a wall
video,
around
right?
it.
No, at their wedding it's gonna be ding ding. Round two.
I know. No, we got the
They need a down payment for the car.
Royal Rumble right now. It's gonna go on.
We're only inviting the people that love
Yeah,
us.
and
There
then
you go.
that kind of like adds to it, like a lot of like my mom's side, I'm not inviting, and then also like we talked about it, I'm taking Jazzy's side's last name and dropping my Barajas last name because I
We're adding each other's
Yeah.
names.
Whoa.
like I'm
Whoa.
doing
Whoa.
Ramirez Herrera because I don't even identify with Barajas side, like my mom's side, and like I'm not even inviting them to the wedding either, like most of them, because like they're just like toxic basically, like you know, and like I never really knew them. I never like it goes back to a lot of like the machismo side in my family, you know.
You're really
Like-
changing. You don't have to explain.
Yeah,
You're,
yeah.
No,
you're doing
no,
so
yeah.
much right now, though. Like you're literally paving a different history for your children.
Yeah.
You know, if you decide to have children, you know, you're literally
They had better.
making the biggest thing.
But yeah, so yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you
No,
for
no,
sharing.
that was great.
It's a
stuff.
new way.
No. We'll pause it right there for right now, cause
It's like not targeted to like specific people. It's like a group of people. Cause like I feel like we have such a
is this family? Or-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we have
Share
such
it,
a
girl.
big family, and like you know, like you're not always gonna click with everyone, and like you shouldn't have to force it. You know, if you don't click with someone, but like I feel like there's certain family members that just are the complete opposite of me. Like what they stand for, like who they are deep down. I just don't relate, and I just don't want to pretend. You know, like
Yeah.
I don't want to force it. You know, like yeah, we're family by blood, but like I choose the people I want in my life. Or like who they what do they represent? You know, like if we're not on the same level, and like if I can't trust you, if I don't know, if I question your intentions with me in our relationship, I was like, you know, like as a family or whatever, like if I feel like you're not being true to yourself or being true to me, I'm like, I don't need that. Like, you know, like, and there's a couple people, and like some people have like made me feel a certain way, like they'll like kind of like talk shit about like who I am as a person in front of me, but like
Me.
keep it general, like throw it out there like as a general thing, like oh like this like something that I've done, like they would like say it's stupid or like talk shit. Yes.
Oh.
And I'm just like, you have no respect for me if you're gonna be talking like that, and I don't need to be around you if you're gonna be talking.
You
like
got
that,
no reason
you know?
to be respectful.
No, yeah, and it's funny because it's people that are older, like way older than me, and I'm just like, we don't have to agree on the same things, but like, I know your character and I know what you believe in, but I would never put you down. in front of you, and not even say it to my face. Like, you're not even saying it to my face. You're just saying it like out loud next to me. I'm like, I'm just like, we can all have our different beliefs, different values, whatever, but don't disrespect someone.
Yep.
Yeah.
After that, I'm just like, I don't need to be around you. Yeah, you're cool with my mom, or like, you know, like you had a relationship. I don't need to be cool with you. No. I was like, I'm not gonna do that to myself, so I'll easily not talk to someone.
Damn.
And that's multiple people, you know, but it's just like, I don't have to pretend, and I won't. And I'm not gonna apologize.
They
I'm not
wrote
gonna
the book.
apologize either.
Yeah. Shoot. But damn, yeah. So we go in the category of friends.
Have you been recording this whole time?
I am recording.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now I am. Yeah.
I should have been watching what I was saying.
Yeah.